I don't know why we say so. Let me send a message. Okay, yeah. So we are saying that when you have a cell phone number, if you start with 01, we can say these numbers are from Telcom, for example. If it's 073, it's for MTN. You see? So each number has a structure. For South African ID, this is the structure. So the same thing, we have this structure for IP addresses. We also have some structures. So what are these structures? It's what we're going to do now. So we say 4 blocks, then 18.44, you see. So we have 192 first block dot another number dot, you see, dot and dot. So this is an example. Now we have who want to join? Admit. Then we have two groups, two groups of IPv4. We have what we call public addresses, can go to the internet, can go to the internet. We say they are routable. It means the router can use it to send you to anywhere in the network. We have public and we have private. Private address, they cannot be used for internet. So this one it's only for labs, for practicals, for yeah. So if you want to go to internet, you need a public IP address. So these are the two groups: public, private. Now, what is something important again is something called the three classes of IP addresses, of IPv4 addresses. The three classes. So I'm going to show you. Yeah. Let me copy this one. Sorry. Anyway, I can use this one. Huh? Yeah, I can use this one. Yeah. So IP addresses. So we know the definition of IP address. It's a number that you use to identify a device or a router interface. If it's a PC, the IP address for that PC is on the network interface card. We call it NIC. NIC, network interface card, like your SIM card in there. Yeah. Now we have three classes. We have class A. So let me copy this one for, or should I stay here? Yeah, let me stay here, it's fine. So there's three classes. Let me copy anyway. Where are we? Where are we? These three classes. These are the three classes. The three classes. So you have class A, you have class B, and you have class C. So you cannot be a network engineer or IT technician if you don't know, especially these two chapters we're going to do, IPv4 and IPv6. Chapter 11, 12 or something like that. They are extremely important. So this one, I can make it bigger. Repart. I can let me make some colors to make it nice. So class A, the first, how to identify that a class is a class A. I'm going to remove this, remove this, remove this. So a class A is identified by the first block or octet. It start between 0 and 126. So this is the first octet. So one octet, 4-part or octet. Why do we say octet? If you convert this one in binary, we have 8 digits. So because we have 8, that's why we say octet. 4-part or octet. So you check the first block. If it falls between this range, it's a class A. If this block the first octet falls in this range, we say it's class B. If it falls here. So I'm going to ask you a question. This IP, is it class A, B, or C?
It's C.
Why?
Yeah, because in C, it's between 100 and
Yeah,
92 to 220.
very good. Very good. So this one is a class C. Let me make it nicely for you. I like big things very simple for student to understand. Yeah. So now this class, is it class A, B, or C?
Class
Class A.
A.
Class B. So we say B, C, D, A.
No, it's class A.
Class A.
Yeah,
Class A.
Why A? Why?
Because it starts 0 to 136.
Very good.
it's 6 way.
Yeah, it falls in this range.
Oh,
So this one is a class A. This file, I'm going to send it to you via email because it's very important for you to understand, to know, because we're going to use it a lot. A lot and a lot. That's why I'm happy that we'll be meeting at Mowbray Community Hall so that I can guide you, I can give you examples. Yeah. What about this guy? Is it class A, B, or C?
It's in class B.
B.
Why? Because this one
Yeah.
falls in this range.
Oh,
So this one class B. So this one I can put in blue. So yeah, oh, sorry. I say class B. And this one,
Class C.
Class C.
class C. Okay. So when it comes to classes, we also have class D and class E, but we don't use them. It's for some demo, some experience, but in real life, we use A, B, and C. So you know the definition of IPv4. You know the structure. We have 4 parts or 4 octaves. We're going to study them step by step. We have 2 groups of IPv4. Public IP addresses, we, we use them to go to the internet. We say it's routable because the router can use them to forward to the destination. And private IP addresses, we cannot use them to go to internet. So now we're going to see per class, which one is private, which one is public. So let me go to my friend here. Yeah. Private IP addresses. Okay. But here we did no class. Okay, let me take this one. So if you see a IP 127.0.0.1, we call it a loopback address. It's just to test if your SIM card is working. You dial that number to make sure that your SIM card is working to be used on the internet. So for a PC or a laptop, if you want to make sure that your network interface card is working properly, you ping yourself with this one. You go to CMD, C, Charlie, Mike, Delta, you press enter. All this explanation is from my experience in companies, in my network engineering experience. So if you want to check that your network interface card is fine, is ready to go to the internet, you ping yourself. So ping, P-I-N-G, is a tool. It's a tool to test connectivity, like you want to dial. Ping 127.0.0.1, you press, sorry, .1, you press enter. Okay. You see. Here we can see 0% loss. It means my network interface card is correct, is fine. TTL, it's something we're going to see. Time to live. For example, you send your child to go to buy something at the tax shop, and you tell your child, if you don't find the product after 3 shops, shop 1, you can't find your product. Shop 2, you can't find your product. Shop 3, you can't find your product. Come back, return. Don't keep on checking the whole day or the whole night, the whole week. No, no, no. So a packet has it. So when you ping, when you dial a number, you send a packet to check. If the destination is okay, say, I'm available, you can talk, then it's going to reply, you see, ping, reply from, so you send and you're going to reply. Time to leave means after 3 tax shop, if you cannot find, come back to me. So here, after 128 routers, if you go router and tax shop are routers, router. If no one knows the destination, discard yourself, destroy yourself. If you don't do that, you'll keep on looking the whole world, the whole planet, the whole universe. No, no. So we have a time to live, TTL, time to live. If after 128 routers, router 1 doesn't know what to forward you, you go to router 2, router 2 doesn't know, or the forward. After 128, if you cannot reach the destination, you get discarded. So time to live. It's something we'll do a bit later. So now we're going to talk about the range of private IP addresses. vis-a-vis range. So I give you 1 minute to check. Then oh, yeah, I want to make it nice. Then I can copy this one also. You see, that's why me, I like making notes. It's clean, clear, and quicker for you to understand and to make revisions. My first job in South Africa, I did my CCNA 2 years. I couldn't find a job. I was teaching a bit in colleges, and I saw an advert. So in the old days, it was in the newspaper. We didn't have internet free like nowadays. No, in the old days, you need to go to the internet cafe to get internet. So everything was displayed in newspapers. So I keep on buying newspapers to check, and we see there is one Cisco position. Today is the deadline to no, first thing first, I saw it, I say, I'm not interested. Then I say, today's the deadline, today's Friday. Should I send my CV and go do the interview? I thought, okay, let me try. Let me try. I call a Uber. It was not Uber, it was a private taxis in the old days. It was a friend of mine, I used to take him. John, please, can you come help me have business for you? Where do you want to go? I want to go to somewhere. Okay, but first thing first, we go to my place. I grab my summaries and my document, and we go. It's no problem. You'll pay me that amount of money. No problem. Let's go. I went home. I took my my summaries, something like that, and for 30 minutes, because Pretoria to Johannesburg is almost 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I made my revision of CCNA1, CCNA2, CCNA3, CCNA4. Something I studied in 10 months. 30 minutes, I went through everything quickly in 30 minutes. Then I went to do the test. It was not an easy one. So it's very, very important. That's why anytime you see me, I make my smaller things like it's easy to. So guys, if you see an IP address between these ranges, it means we cannot use it to go to the internet. So I'm going to make some colors again. So as a network engineer, you must document anything you do, especially all your findings. Why? Once a year or twice a year, internal auditors, no, IT auditors, ICK in IT auditors. So once a year, the company, the business, the big bosses, we want to make sure that the company is well managed. IT, we're going to call someone from outside, check our IT guys, check our network, if everything has a standard, if our guys will follow the standard. So there is a degree or a certificate called Certified Information System Auditors. For this one, you must have a bachelor degree first or a master's first, then you do this course. So Certified Information System Auditor. Okay, you can read this one quickly. I just whenever there is a student, she says it requesting a code. What code? I've never seen a code. Manage full screen. Let me not sure. I'll send you a picture. Mhm. Okay. Yeah, you are busy reading. It's very important to know that. So please read. Okay. So these guys, they come and check if everything is well done. We can ask you, show us a document that show that all IT equipment you purchased during this year. If you don't document, eh, what if people are stealing or you see? And we write it down. Your IT guys, we don't know how many things have been purchased. If stolen or not, no one knows. Show us uh, this. Show us that with proof. Huh? That's why it's very important to document, to write down anything you do. So these guys, it's very they come to audit your your IT. What security you put in place to secure your IT things. So you see here, for example, information asset security framework standard and guidelines. Physical environment control. We check is in your server room too hot, too cold? What? So IT, first thing first is IT essentials to know your device. Number two, routing, CCNA, networking. And from there, you can add more like cybersecurity or other stuff. And also IT management. IT management is all this stuff. While you're working, your team will tell you, okay, this is how we do, this is what we don't do. See? Identity access. How do you manage username and password? Network and endpoint security. Show us. They're going to ask you a lot of questions. See? And we send a report to the business. So it's very, very important, guys, to document. Okay, so yeah. What is this? And this one is no, no, that's something else. So if you see a IP between these ranges, it means it's private. You cannot use it to go to the internet. We'll have time to do that. No worries. Now, there is something called a subnet mask. Let me check here. If there is something else I can show you. Yeah, subnet mask. I'm going to copy it also because I'm going to send you a single file. What is that guy? Yeah. A subnet mask. When a IPv4 address is assigned to a
Sorry,
device,
Mr. Max.
yes,
Yeah, Mr. Max, you spoke, you were speaking about the range of IP address. You didn't explain. We must, what is it about? I didn't get it.
for example, I say, okay, Mireille, this IP, is it
Mm,
private or is it public?
mm,
Tell me.
okay. But
So think about it and you tell me now. So is it private or is it public?
but where must I check to know?
It's in front of you.
It's public.
No,
It's
because
public.
I don't see private. Maybe the screen is not full, so I don't know. I just saw the range of the private IP address. Only that. For public, I don't see so.
So Bijou say
Mm,
it's public. Why do you say it's public?
mm,
The public, they give the class A from 0 to 120, and the numbers are different because in private is from 10.0.0, and for class A. For class B is from 172, and for class C it's from 192, and because the last number, you can see even by the difference last number, for the private is 0.0, and for the public you can see there's numbers. That's the difference that I can say.
Okay, very good. So Mira, if you see that IP 177 dot what,
yeah,
first thing first, is it class A or class B? It's a class B.
yeah.
Now, because this one falls in this range.
Mm-hmm,
Now, number two, is it a public or a private? You come to the private IP address here. Is
mm-hmm.
that IP start with 172.16? No, you see that this one 177. So it
Yeah.
doesn't start with 172, you see.
Okay.
So if it doesn't start, it means it's not private, it's public.
Public. Okay.
Yeah. You see.
Okay. Thank
If we
you,
take
Mr.
this IP here, 199, is it class A, class A, class B, class C? Because it falls in this range. Now, is it a public or a private? Now you go down to a private. We say for class C, the private start with 192.168. Here is not 192.168, so automatically it's public, it's not private.
Okay.
Listen. Good question, thanks. Very important thing, guys, subnet mask. You see, let's say you want to go to um, a concert, for example, and we say this concert is only for female coming from Asia. Bijou arrives to the concert. Are you a female? Yes. Do you come from Asia? No. Sorry, you cannot get in. Rumbi comes, or anyone else comes. People comes, or Aaron, or anyone, you come. So it means what? Before you enter, first thing first, are you a female? Are you a IP address? Yes, I'm an IP address. Do you come from Asia? You see, so it means Asia will classify you where you come from. So the subnet will classify you in which network you belong to. We'll have time to do that. So for now, understand that the subnet mask, so also a IP address never comes alone, never. A IP address always comes with a subnet mask, because the subnet mask is a number that will identify you in which network you come from, like Asia, in which region you come from. So let's say you're a landlord, you have your house and you divide it in smaller rooms and you have tenants. Tenant Tanya lives somewhere, but you don't know. You see, okay, Tanya will have her ID plus something to identify that she belongs to room 1. For example, her access tag will be T for Tanya -1. So that -1 means Tanya is a tenant for room 1, you see. James lives also in your house, but in which room? You'll say, okay, J -2. You see, if you see 2, it means this tenant lives in room number 2. You see. So that second number, subnet mask, is a number that will identify this IP belong to which network. It's something that we'll do. You see, it's written here. Okay, so very, very, very important. Oh, who's joining now? Sakina, okay. Okay, Sakina, I'm quickly, 1 minute to explain to you what we did. We are starting chapter, which chapter is that? Chapter 11. Today is what's Thursday? Monday, no, Tuesday, we'll do chapter 6, then chapter 12. Then Saturday, we'll be meeting at that place. Next week, Saturday the 10th, we meet at Mowbray. I'm going to check how many people will come. We divide how much we'll pay. When you come and you bring your cash, I'll collect them and make the payment. But the room is the place is for us. I never been there. We'll go and we'll go and and discover. But it seems like it's quite a nice place. I assume Mowbray Community Center image. So we'll compare C point. C point will be in July. We'll compare C point and also we'll compare for Mowbray. Then we'll decide in the future which one we'll go for. So like if I say short videos, I saw some ladies were doing some training there. Let me see Facebook. So we'll see how things are there. Direction, review. Okay, anyway, I'll send some pictures of what I saw. So we are doing chapter 11, then we'll do chapter 12. After that, we'll do basic router configuration, and all these labs that we'll be doing, I'm going to give a lot of example exercise. And so we say we are doing IPv4. It's like your cell phone number, but to identify a device, your printer or your PC, or it's a number. This is a kind of number. We have 4 parts or 4 octaves.
Sorry, Mr. Max. What
Yes.
about chapter 8 and 9?
Yeah, we'll do that a bit later because yeah, we'll do that. We're not difficult. Yeah, so we'll do that a bit later. No worries.
Okay.
Mr. Max,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt you. Are we doing chapter 9 and 10, or we skip 10? So I'm a bit confused.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, myself, I was a bit confused. I made a mistake. Yeah, so what we're doing now is sorry, it's chapter 11. So chapter 9 and 10 we'll do later. So we'll do them later. It's not difficult, something very simple. Basic
So we
router
skip
configuration.
9 and 10.
Yeah. Yeah, for now. Yes, for now. Yeah, for now. It's simple.
Okay.
ARP, yeah, for now it's not difficult. Then today we do IPv4. Next time we'll do IPv6. When we finish phase 2, then we'll do phase 2 in one day. But phase 2 are very critical. It's the most difficult. It's not difficult, but the most we use them a lot to do some stuff. So we have 2 groups of IP v4. We have public, private. I'll send this file to you now. We have 3 classes of IP addresses. We have class A, class B, and class C. And each class is identified by the first number and the first octet. It falls in which range? You see, if it's a class B, the first octet falls in this range. So, engineer Coco, if I say this IP address 100.100.100.100, is it a class A, B, or C?
Can I answer?
Yes.
Is it class A?
Why?
Yeah, because the class A starts from 0 to 126.
Okay. So when you have an IP, always check the first block or the first octet. This number is 100. Now you check it's in which range here. You can see that 100 is in this range. It's between 0 and 126. So it's a class A IP. Yes. It's a class A. Yes. That's why when we meet, I'm going to give a lot of them so that we can practice. Subnet mask is to identify where you come from. For example, you have a room, you have a house, you divide in smaller rooms, you put tenant, and you give an access tag. Tanya is in your house, you don't know in which room number she belongs to. So if for Tanya 1, it means you belong to room 1. You see. James is in your house, you don't know in which room. You check his access tag. J for his number, it's fine. And especially 2 means James lives in room number 2. So a IP address never comes alone, always come with a subnet mask. What else we can learn? Now there is something called default subnet mask. Default subnet mask. Default subnet mask. Oh, what's that? Um, where this guy is? Yeah. Default subnet mask. Very important. Default subnet mask. Why we say default? Because at a later stage, so let's say you have your room. If you don't divide your room, let's say you have your house. No, let's say room. Yeah, you have a room. You don't divide your room. So if you don't divide by default, it's only one room. At a later stage, you can say, okay, you know what? I can make money. Let me divide in 4 smaller rooms, and I put 4 people, and we can rent 1,000. So we say default because if you don't divide your room, this is how it is. So for class A, the default subnet mask is /8. I'm going to explain why we say /8. The default is /8 or 255.255.255. Very simple, no panic. Why we say /A, I'm going to show you. Yeah. Why this one is big? Yeah, something like that. And come here, 10. Yeah. Oh, yeah, push. Yeah. So class A, we consider all the time the first block. And the first block is always for the network. It will identify your network. That's why you see N. If you see N, it means network. No worries, we have time to do many times. So if you have a IP address, first block, second block, third block, fourth block, you see. For class A, the first block belongs to the network. It never changes. And the hosts are here. No worries, we have time to go through it many times. And because it's for the network, everything will be ones. You see, if you convert this one in decimal, in binary, we're all ones. So we have eight ones. That's why we say /8. So /8, it means I have 8 ones. If I convert all these 8 ones in decimal, it's 255. See? That's why if I have this class, this IP address for class A, if I say like that, the class A, it will come with /8, or you can do this one, 255.0.0.0. This is the subnet mask for this IP. It's a class A, and the default subnet mask for class A is 255.0.0. If it's a class B, the first 2 blocks of your IP belongs to the network. Anything else you can assign to the host. What does it mean if it belongs to the network? So let's say class B, no? Class B. Class B. I can say, for example, 180.10.1.1.1. 180 192.10.2.2. Then I have 190.20.30.20. So you see, these two blocks, 180.10, it means they belong to the same network. These two IP, they belong to the same network. They belong to the same country. They come to the same country. But this IP, you see, these two blocks, it's different from these ones. It means this one belongs to another network, another house. So these two, they belong to the same house. So the first two blocks are the same. That's why we say here, if the first two blocks belong to a network, it should identify the network. The other one you can assign to your tenants. And because these two are for the first are for the network, we put all ones there. So we have 8 ones plus 8 1 slash 16 or 255.255.0. So if you have a class B, like this guy here, this guy will be 255, it will be slash 8 slash 16 because the class B slash 16, or you can also do 180.10.1.1. You convert, if you convert slash 18 in decimal, you see, everything here in decimal is 255. Everything here in decimal is 255. So 255.255.0.0. So if you have a class B IP address, by default, this is the subnet mask, 255.255. Now, if it's a class C, the first 3 blocks will identify your network, and the other one you can assign to. So because we focus on this first 3, we put all ones. It will be, if we count how many ones we have, it's 24. That's why we say slash 24. It means I have 24 ones. If you convert all of them in decimal, it will be 255.255.25.0. We're going to use this one a lot in our labs. This is class A. This one will be class B. Yes. This is IT, the real IT that we do in companies, but yeah, it's not difficult. Just because it's new, you can say, it's not at all. Because we repeat the same thing many times, your whole life. I don't need to do that. I just need to do this one slash 16. Oh, no. And this one also. Yeah, class B. And for class C, everything will 255.255.0. Which is what we call default subnet mask. We'll have time to do many times, so no worries for that at all. Yeah. So for class A is slash 8 or 255.255. For class B, I put in another color in green. The default is slash 16 or 255.255.255. You see, and for class C is slash 24 or this. What else we can learn here? So now, how to assign IP to, you work at Vodacom or Telcom, how are you going to assign numbers to SIM card? What system? So in IT, you can assign manually. We'll use via packet tracer. If I open a packet tracer, I open this PC, I go to desktop, I go to IP configuration. I can add myself manually. Okay, your number, your IP will be this. You see, I assign manually. And always you see subnet mask. It always comes with a subnet mask. So I can assign manually, or I can assign via the system. A system will automatically assign numbers to my SIM card or my PCs. So if you want automatically assignment, we have a server, another big PC called a DHCP server. So this server will automatically assign IP addresses to PCs. So if we always we need IPs, we can get connected to the DCP server and automatically we'll get IPs. So in a company, if you power on your PC need an IP. So it's going to ask on the network, hey, where is the DCP on this place? So in this place. And we say, it's me. If you contact me, it means you need the IP. This is one for you. You see. If I check my PC here, my PC that I have, if I want to view some information about my PC, I type ipconfig space /all. That command will display some information about my PC, my network interface card. So if I press enter, and because I'm at home, I'm using my Wi-Fi, I go to, not here, I'm not using Bluetooth, wireless LAN Wi-Fi, I'm using my Wi-Fi. Then I see this is my IPv4 address, my normal SIM card number, my cell phone number here. And you see always subnet mask, because it's a class C, the default, you see, 255.255.255.0. You must understand where it comes from. And I got it, my Wi-Fi router gave it to me yesterday, and it's going to expire, that IP will expire tomorrow. So anytime you power on your PC, it need a IP. If you have a IP for 1 week, it's fine. After a week, it's going to ask again for a new IP. So as an IT engineer, you should know this. And we have time to do many times. Networking, the more you do, the more you study, the more you know. It's only doing the same thing many times and nothing else. So job interview, we can ask you how IP addresses are, how a PC can get an IP in a company. Your answer is, I can manually assign myself, and we call it static IP address. Or automatically via a DHCP server. A DHCP server, it's a server that will automatically distribute IP to people. The last part is called subnetting, but this one I prefer leave it for Thursday, because we're going to do some kind of things. But I'll try to explain to you a bit only, but we'll do it on, we'll do it next week, Tuesday, sorry. Subnetting is what? You have your room, and you say, hey, it seems like I can make money. Let me divide my room in 4 smaller rooms. I put one tenant here in room 1. I put another tenant here, room 2. I put another tenant here. So subnetting, it means dividing your house in smaller ones. So how many smaller ones? It's what we're going to know. Sorry. For example, we'll do that on Tuesday next week, plus IPv6. This is a IP, for example, 192/20 /25. And the police will come, we say, okay, this tenant, in which room it belongs to? So this IP belongs to which network? So in which network this IP belongs to? And from that network, find the first valid host, last valid host, and broadcast. We'll do that on Tuesday. So first thing first, you have some guidance. Number 1, identify which class are we dealing with. You see, 192 is a class C. Step number 2, identify the default subnet mask for class C. We said it was what? /24. So,
Sorry, Mr. Max.
yes.
Class C, you put /25. It's not /24.
Very good question. We are coming there. We are coming there. So the default subnet mask is /24. What /24 means? It means I have 24 ones, 8 ones dot 8 ones dot 8 ones. It's 24. You see. Let me zoom in for you. Now, your question is here in the question. They say /25. It means something has changed. Then you go to step number 3. Find the bit borrowed. Because I have 24, now here they say 25. It means I did add 1 extra. So you say, find the bit borrowed. You do that 25, that in my question, minus my normal default. It means I did borrowed 1. I had my 24 by default here. And if they say 25, it means I added 1 extra. You see, I borrowed 1 bit from the host. If you borrow something from your host, it means you have divided your room in smaller rooms. How many smaller rooms? We have a formula. Identify how many networks. We'll do, the formula is 2 to the power of bit borrowed. You see, so here I borrowed 1. So we say 2 to the power of 1 is 2. You take your calculator. We'll do step by step and no need to panic. We'll do that many times. 2 to the power of 1 is 2. It means I did divide my one big bedroom in 2 smaller bedrooms. You see, 2 smaller networks. Now I need to identify these smaller networks. We see that we'll use something called the magic number. What does it mean? You do your table, 128, 64, 32. Then you take where you borrowed, you see here, you take it and you put it in. and you go from your left to your right, and you take the last one. Here it's 28, 128. It means my magic number is 128. What does it mean my magic number is 128? You see, because it's a class C, this is my network now. It's a class C. We say the first 3 blocks will identify my network. It will never change. Then you put it here, and always the very first network start with 0. These 3 blocks are there. What will be the number of the next network? You add 0 plus the magic number. You see. Now I have 2 smaller networks or 2 smaller rooms. Now in each room, I need to identify a range of IP addresses I can assign to PCs. So if I take the very first network, the first host, the first IP I can assign to a PC, I do my network 0 here plus 1. This is my second network. I use it. The broadcast of the first network, I take the next minus 1. And to find the last host, I do my broadcast minus 1. Finished. So this one we'll do on Tuesday. Please don't miss it, because it's very, very important in IT. The first time it looks strange, but we'll do many times at the same thing. We just need to follow what? The guidance. First step, identify the class. Step 2, identify the default subnet mask. Step 3, find the bit borrowed. Step 4, identify how many networks. 2 to the power of bit borrowed. So let us stop here for today. I'll send you, so before I send you, let us finish with, if you want, I can send you this one first. Then on Tuesday, when we finish the subnetting, I'll send you, I'm going to add more, and I'm going to send you. So for now, yeah, focus on this, what we did for today. Definition of IP, the structure, the 2 groups, private, public, the 3 classes, how to identify each class, the private IP addresses, what is a subnet mask, what is a default subnet mask, and how to assign IP to PCs. That's all for today. We continue next time. Any questions?
No questions.
Okay, great. So I'll send it to you now. I'll also stop the recording. I'll also, people are using company, okay. Yeah, I'll send it to you also, so that the weekend, please